YouTube, are you ready to enter the mind of a full-time profitable trader? Because today I'm gonna be bringing you a brand new series, episode 1 of Inside the Mind of a Profitable Trader, where not only are we gonna be sharing tips and tricks on not only myself and how plenty of other successful traders have managed to make a full-time income from this, but I'm also gonna be answering some fire questions that you guys have been blowing me up with. So with that being said, listen, follow me on this journey, sit back, grab a cup of tea, grab a notepad and pen, because we are about to go crazy. So with that being said, I'm gonna see you guys all at the top, from the top, because the bottom's way too crowded, man. Sheesh. The main thing I want you guys to understand today, the importance of actually going inside the mind of a trader. You see, earlier in my journey, right, I had no idea what it actually takes to become a full-time profitable trader. You see, I thought I could just go online, learn technical analysis, and the more I studied technical analysis, I thought the better trader I would be. Now, that was true until I realized that I'm learning technical analysis again and again and again. I'm learning so many different strategies, but none of them seemed to work for me. And it wasn't that the strategy didn't work, it was that I didn't have the correct psychological skills that were in place to actually trade my system correctly. Now, of course, there is importance of technical analysis, but you have to remember something. Your brain has two sides, right? You have the left side and the right side. Your left side is responsible for logic, aka your technical analysis, and then the right side is responsible for your emotions and psychology. So if you spend all the time just developing your technicals, it's like going to the gym and only training your left leg, right? If you just train your left leg, what's going to happen, right? You're going to try to do squats one day, you're going to be out of balance because you've only trained one leg and you're going to have an imbalance. So what we're going to do today, guys, is I'm going to be spending the entire of this video answering some highly requested questions. You guys have been blowing me up in the DMs. I know if you really plug in and listen to all these different questions, everything in your trading is going to change from here on out. It's just what you need to do is take this information and actually apply it. Now, before we do get into the video, guys, remember, if you are struggling to become a full-time trader right now and you need a helping hand, you need a mentor to walk you through the entire process, and you really want to have someone to hold your hand and guide you and teach you from all of their mistakes and all of their wins, then I actually do have a few more spaces in my personal one-to-one mentorship program where we're going to sit down and I'm going to take you through my blueprint that is guaranteed to turn you into a profitable trader if you follow my steps to an absolute T. If you're not serious, if you're not willing to be teachable, coachable, or invest in yourself, please don't reach out because it's not for you. But if you are ready to take your trading to the next level, you are ready to invest and you are ready to take this seriously, then yo, shoot me a DM. My Instagram link will be in the bio and we're gonna get to this money, baby. Now, with no further ado, let's get right into some of these questions. So the first one we have is from, I'm probably gonna butcher your name, but Honest Cabdi Fiat. Yo, I would put it on screen, but they ask, what is the secret of your success in the trading industry? Now, everyone believes there's a secret. Everyone believes there's one thing they need to know that's gonna take them to that next level. But what you have to remember, it's never just gonna be one thing, right? The secret is information, right? And based on the information that you're getting, what that will do is increase your level of awareness, which is now going to allow you to make new choices, new decisions, so that now you get new results. So for me, there wasn't one secret. It was a collection of multiple different things, from, like I said, getting the right information about technical analysis, how I'm analyzing the chart and who I'm learning from. You know, right at the start, I had no idea what I was doing with technical analysis. I wasn't learning from people who were profitable, right? I was just learning from any Joe Smo that had a course and was still living with their parents. But what I had to do to get my secret was firstly understand the technical trading system. Then from there, once I found one that actually resonated with me and my psychology and what just made sense to me, I then had another thing to overcome and another secret to focus on, which was psychology and the emotions. So I don't believe there's one secret or one thing that's going to all of a sudden change the game for you. It's a conglomerate of different things. From, in my opinion, you need the technical analysis and you need the psychology to complement that as well. How you deal with your emotions, thinking in sample sizes, right? Not getting greedy, sticking to a strict risk management plan, and being able to, when I say think in sample sizes, stick to a set of rules and being able to execute that over time. Because the real edge in the market right? The real secret is a combination, like we said, with the technical system and your psychology. Because you can trade the same system as me, but if you haven't got the right psychological frame, you haven't got the right skill sets to deal with risk and uncertainty, you're never going to be able to succeed. So in my opinion, the real secret is information, right? Increase your information so you can increase your awareness, and based on your awareness, you can now make new decisions which will allow you to get new results. Mohammed asks, how hard is it to pass the test to be a funded trader? Well, here's the thing. If you're finding it hard to pass the test and to pass the challenge, you're not ready to be a funded trader, right? A funded trader is simply someone who can trade their own capital consistently, and because they can trade their own capital and have their own track record, now they can translate that skill set onto a funded prop fund account. And the result of them just doing their day-to-day things will result in them getting more profitable. Like, you have to remember, trading more money doesn't make you a better or a worse trader. What makes you a better or worse trader is you. So if you can trade a £100 account or a £200 account, or, well, to be honest with you, I think it's basically impossible to trade £100 accounts because it's so small, you can't calculate your risk correctly, and it's very hard to even manage your risk with those smaller accounts. So what I would recommend if you're struggling with these funded accounts is very simple. Go back to a demo account, build a track record for a minimum of 3 to 6 months. And if every single month you're not getting in crazy drawdown, you're treating it like the challenge and trying to meet the rules and growing your account between 8 to 10% a month, you'll be fine, right? It won't be a challenge. But like we said, it will be a challenge if you don't have the skill sets and the foundation in place. If you want to know more about this, guys, I did a whole video on this that you can go back, you can check out. Samurai Capital asks, how long did it take you to learn a strategy and start trading? Well, here's the thing. How long did it take me to start trading and learn a strategy? Well, I'll be honest with you. Within my first 2 hours of learning about the Forex market, I already had a live account open and I was placing trades. Right, my first trade, I made 50% in literally 2 minutes and I was gassed. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a great trader. And then literally I blew the entire account after that. So it took me 2 hours to start trading. But for me, I'll be honest with you, for about 1.5 years to 2 years, I was strategy hopping, right? I was jumping from this strategy to that strategy because I didn't know that the missing key was me and my psychology. So yeah, for about 2 years, I was trying to find one strategy. When I come across, Wyckoff, smart money, it's not, I don't really look at it like smart money and Wyckoff now. I actually use institutional order fulfillment, which is what smart money actually is. Smart money is a small umbrella term of institutional order fulfillment. But once I found that and came across real people who had real results, that's what allowed me to focus on learning that. So I got started in the whole, Forex space at the end of 2017. So I got started in the whole Forex space at the end of 2017. I actually come across Wyckoff and smart money. Shout out to Pips of Persia, and yeah, shout out to Pips of Persia for putting me onto that. And that was in 2019. From there, I was spending time learning the strategy. Start of 2020, that was when I managed to actually first get funded because I had my track record built. From there, once I built my track record, obviously got funded, I could use the money from the prop funds to withdraw, and obviously those withdrawals, we can now grow our own account. So I hope that answers your question. But actually, one thing I want to build onto that as well is, don't worry how long it took me or how long it took someone else. For me, yeah, it maybe took me 2+ years, but for some other people, it may take 6 months. Some people, it may take 3 months. Shit, some people, it may take 4, 5, 6 years, right? Do not compare your journey to anyone else's, because for me, look, I'll be honest with you, I still believe I'm at a point where I'm still learning, still growing, and still evolving. Because if I sit there and think, oh my God, I've made it, I don't need to learn more, then, well, at that point, once you're at the peak, you can only go down. So even though I've been trading now, since late 2017, and it's obviously 2023 now when I'm recording this video, we're still growing, we're still learning. But what I would recommend you guys doing if you're just getting into this and you're really trying to master something, break your journey down, right? Focus on technical analysis, becoming a great analyst first. Then you can, as you start executing, you can then develop your psychology and your emotions. Then you can move on to the third and final stage, which is learning to evolve and grow your own trading and your own performance. Spur asks, what is your take on money management? Now guys, money management it is everything. Listen, it doesn't matter if you can win a trade. That is irrelevant. It's how you can keep the winning trades you've made and not lose it. You see, money management is everything. And you have to remember that success in trading isn't just going to come from trading, right? Like, you can't go around life having really bad money management skills outside of the market and really bad financial literacy outside of the market and expect to come into the market and now be a consistent trader. If every time you're getting your paycheck, you're blowing all your money, wasting it on stupid things to impress people that don't care about you, then I'm sorry, but Forex, no matter how hard you study, it won't click because you have the wrong fundamentals when it comes to pure money management. For me to become a better trader, it wasn't me just getting better at trading. It was me improving my skill sets in all my other areas. Like, I genuinely became a better person, not only with money, but in all other avenues of life. So there's a really great book that will help you a lot about this called The Psychology of Money. And basically what it speaks about is how we've been conditioned to be consumers our whole life. You know, as soon as we're born, you know, well, as a kid, you're not thinking about buying shit. But, you know, as we start growing older, we live in this consumeristic society where we're always taught to buy and consume content and just consume, right? As soon as we get paid, what do we normally do, right? We go and buy the latest fashion, the latest drip, the latest thing, because marketers are designed to make you feel like you're not enough with the shit you have right now. So because you're now comparing your life to other people when you get paid, you're now splunking your money and throwing it around everywhere and not putting it into things like assets, and you're putting it into things like liabilities. I say that to say all this. My take on money management is fucking everything, bro. You need to learn how to manage money, not just your trading account, because you can't manage your trading account if you can't manage your own personal finances. And your own personal finance management, I think there's a lot of information that goes into this. Firstly, you need to understand the difference between liability and assets. You know, Rich Dad Poor Dad is a great book that speaks about this. Now, in a nutshell, obviously assets are things that put money in your pocket and liability is a thing that takes out of your pocket. But you have to know the difference between true assets and true liabilities. Because for me, right, education is the biggest asset there is. Even though directly today it may not put money in your pocket and it directly takes money out, but in the next weeks, months or years is gonna bring all that money back. So what I'm getting at is this: with money management, know when you invest into something if it's going to give you a return on investment in the future and if the risk to reward is worth it. Now, when I say risk to reward, I don't just mean, oh my God, how much am I putting into how much I'm getting? I mean, what is the actual risk of this thing I'm putting my money into in this investment, right? If it's a really risky asset you're trying to invest in, maybe you want to risk a little bit less. If it's something that is a lot more probable, of course you can risk a little bit more. Nevertheless, you have to learn how to manage your own finances, family, right? So what that may be is doing things like knowing, okay, exactly how much money you need to make on a monthly basis to cover all of your basic income. From there, once you know, okay, right, I have my expenses, again, let's just use really easy numbers. Let's say your expenses come to $2,000-3,000 a month. If you know that's your basic expenses, and then you know, all right, I'm making $5,000 a month from your job, that now gives you an extra $2K to play with. But what you can do now with that $2,000 after you've taken care of all, you know, all your expenses, is say you've got $2,000 to play with, you know, maybe take $500 to go have fun and enjoy life, because I do believe you need time to recharge and reset, and you have to enjoy life at the end of the day. But that extra $1,500 you have, go ahead and put that in a savings account or learn how to grow it and invest it in your own trading account. So basically what I'm saying about money management is you have to learn how to manage your own personal finances, know exactly what's coming in and know exactly what's going out, right? Be very mindful of where you're putting your money, right? Every penny I spend, I know exactly what I'm doing with it, where it's going and why I'm spending it. You know, before the month even starts, I already allocate in the back of my head, okay, I'm withdrawing this amount from my account this month, and this is how much I'm going to spend on my expenses, this is how much I'm going to spend on fun, and this is how much I'm going to go ahead and invest and save and compound. You have to be organized, and I think the easiest thing is writing it down and just being aware. Because again, if you're not aware of it, you won't be able to control it. So what I'm saying is, for money management, is quite a few things. And it all goes back to the first thing we were saying, is awareness and information. So when it comes to increasing your money management, there's a lot of books, a lot of information you can get. But I think the easiest thing is just knowing your actual numbers, know what you need to live, what you need to invest, and etc., and really build a personal finance plan for yourself. Dominica asks, I want to know about your diet, all the supplements you take to keep your mind sharp. That is a great question. So this is not sponsored. I'm not affiliated with these guys, but there's a brand called Interstellar Blends. Shout out Gavin. Basically what he does, he promotes a lot of fasting. So I do a lot of intermittent fasting. So basically every single day, when I wake up, and obviously the night before, I'm not eating. So for my first half of the day, probably until maybe 4 or 5 p.m. Wherever I'm located, what I'll be doing is I'll be on a fast. But during that fast, I'll take these interstellar blends, which is a mad concoction of natural herbs to alkalize and cleanse the body and fight off all different diseases. They're so powerful, it's crazy. But to keep my mind sharp, I take a lot of those blends. They can be a little bit pricey, so if your finances are not great, what I'll recommend doing is try and firstly do the basics, right? Making sure you're hydrated, because your body is made out of 70% water. So if you're not hydrated, your mind won't be able to function clearly, and then you won't be able to analyze the charts correctly. So firstly, make sure you're hydrated. So secondly, take some supplements. If you don't know about sea moss and shilajit, they are some powerful superfoods. And these little things here, because they're natural, can create so much power in your own mind and your body. Like, I believe since I started fasting and being able to control what I put into my body, that's also what allows me to control my reality and have more discipline in the markets. Because if you can't control what you eat, how can you expect to control anything else? I don't like the word vegan, but I'm more of a plant-based diet, so I don't eat animal products, dairy, meat, or anything like that. If we really want to get into it, it's because of meat is a low vibration, it's acidic, and it actually turns your blood acidic. So for your body to neutralize the acidity from the animal products and the animal protein, it actually has to extract certain vitamins and minerals from your bones to actually neutralize the acidity in your blood. So again, I don't want to turn this into a diet of health and fitness channel, but yeah, I do a lot of fasting. I obviously drink a lot of water, and I take a lot of natural herbs and supplements. I'm a big believer in natural and holistic healing and health. But if you're new to this, again, Interstellar Blends is a great way to start with your fasting journey. Or like I said, you can just get, hey, go away. Or you can just get some basic things like shilajit and sea moss and just start taking that every single day, and you'll definitely see some big improvements and changes. But the easiest thing to do is cut out a lot of the bullshit you're feeding yourself. Try to go to organic and fresh products, and try to stay away from a lot of processed foods. Because remember, the happy chemicals you produce in your head are 70% or maybe 80%, I forget the exact number, are produced in your gut. So if you're eating like shit, you're gonna feel like shit, and if you feel like shit, you're gonna perform like shit. So feed your body good fuel, and then you'll think clearly. And obviously then you'll be able to perform a lot clearly. But that's why I do a lot of fasting, because it detoxes my body. So I'm a big believer in fasting, so maybe try that. But again, I'm not a health or fitness consultant, so do your own research into it. And if you feel weird, your body doesn't react correctly, obviously you know not to do it. Soul to Soul asks, how did you shift from viewing your profits from dollars to percentages? How long did that take you, and how did you adapt to it? It took me 4 seconds, because I just looked at my account, figured exactly how much percent I'm gonna risk, and I think in terms of risks to rewards. So there's no how, or there's no magic. You just, whenever you look at your account, right, if you've got a 100K account and you just know, okay, I'm gonna risk 0.25%. And if you're catching a 1 to 10 risk to reward, or even if you make 5K on that 100K account, well, you've made 5%. So just calculate the percentages. There's no magic formula, there's no magic secret. It's literally just doing the math in your head. That's it. It is really that simple. Mrs. Saucy asks, what is one thing you wish you knew from the beginning? So I would say the main thing that I wish I knew from the beginning was, firstly, the power of mentorship, man. Like, right at the start of my journey, I didn't understand the importance of having a mentor. I was trying to figure it out myself. And because I was trying to figure it out myself, I was wasting so much time and so much money, just trying to go to somewhere I've never been. There's some crazy waves kicking in, so we might have to change location in a second. But yeah, understand the power of mentorship, because having someone that has been and is living and doing what I want to do, if I literally just do what they do, I will have what they have. And there's some crazy bugs making noises, man. Shh, 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 shh. Good boy. So yeah, man, the power of mentorship, like, being able to connect with people who are actually living the dream and doing what I want to do, they've gone through all the trials and tribulations that I'm about to go through. So if I knew what I knew now from the beginning, it would definitely be to get a mentor and not be cheap on a mentor, because when you buy cheap, you buy twice, right? My thing was, when I first started, I was broke, I had no money. I didn't want to spend money on investments and education. I wanted to try and keep it all to myself. Right? But I didn't understand that the more you invest into yourself, the more you're going to make in the future if you invest in the right things. So yeah, man, I wish I knew the importance of mentorship, and I wish I knew how to actually find and connect with mentors and improve my own social skills so that I can learn to add value to these people in some way. Now, obviously when I started, I didn't have any value to give. So the only value I could offer them was money. Right? And that was, let's be honest here, that was the only thing I could offer them at the start. Now, obviously, as you do grow and you do develop your own value from within, Obviously it now kind of starts to shift. You don't have to give them money, you can give them value by information or positive emotions. But yeah, man, that was the thing I wish I knew at the start, the importance of investing into my education and my future. Because when you buy cheap, you buy twice. Actually, there's one more thing as well I wish I knew from the start. There's quite a few things. But I wish I knew the realities of trading and the skill sets I need to actually learn. Again, I thought I could just come in and just learn technical analysis and be a great trader, but I didn't realize I need to learn things like fundamental analysis. I don't realize I need to learn things like self-awareness and psychology to look at my own performance in the market. So yeah, mentorship and understanding, well, this comes from the mentorship, but having an actual clear direction and having a clear blueprint to follow, because there's different skills we have to learn at different stages in our journey. My guy Manish says, I love you, bro. I love you too, man. Okay, so guys, I did actually have to cut this video a little bit short because the camera died, so they didn't want you guys to see the rest of the content. But have no fear, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do another episode, because like I said, this is a brand new series we're gonna start. And yo, the next questions I'm gonna answer are absolutely saucy. We're gonna be going deep into my journey and going through a lot of crazy valuable source. Now, again, this series will not just be me answering questions. I do plan to actually plan specific lessons, whether it's technical, psychology, and I will plan on bringing other traders on my platform and obviously interviewing them, asking them questions. So if there's anyone you want to see, you can drop it in the comments. If there's any questions or things that you're struggling with specifically, again, don't be afraid to drop them in the comments. But you know, if you got value from this video, I want you to go to the comment section and tell me what was one thing that you liked and what was one thing that you learned from this video today. Now, guys, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And again, if you do want to join my mentorship, you can go to my Instagram. Link is in the description. There's a bunch of fake accounts. So remember, if you do not hear my voice, I will hop on a phone call with you. And if you don't hear my voice, it's not me. So that being said, guys, I'm going to see you all at the top from the top, because you already know, man, the bottom is way too crowded. Sheesh.